It is my great pleasure to introduce our next speaker this afternoon. Our next speaker is one of those people who comes into my circle of work and just blows me away. This happens a couple of times a year where I encounter someone who is doing things as part of a student role that I look at and I say I could not have done that as a student, and it just fills me with absolute appreciation and admiration to see people doing the kinds of things that our next speaker has done. Kalei Wilson will be entering the 10th grade this fall, which means as a 9th grader, she has stood up to and gone toe-to-toe with some of the most vicious fighting administrations that we have seen at the Secular Student Alliance. But I'm not going to tell her story for her. I'm going to let her do that. Instead, I'm going to tell her that outside of this story, she is still an admirable young woman doing running and cross-country in a way that, again, just fills me with admiration because I could not ever do that myself. So let me get off the stage now and hand over the time to Kalei Wilson, our next speaker this afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, I'm Kalei, and I'm actually really nervous right now. So, can I ask everybody to stand up? Like, if you can. If you can't, then I understand, but I'll remember that. And can you put your arms out like this? Like, everybody? Okay. And just hit them together really hard. Good. Okay, now, like, all together this time. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Good, that was good. Okay, you guys can all sit back down. That was because if I don't get a standing ovation at the end, I just got it over with at this before. Okay. Well, I kind of have to hold my speech since, you know, I didn't really memorize it. And I've got a lot of snarky things I say, so I just don't want to forget them. Okay, so hello, baby eaters. I'm not going to make this very long, so I'm going to jump right into my story of how I got here. Well, when a mommy and a daddy loves each other very much, no, you guys aren't mature enough for that. No, I'm just kidding. It started out with me and my brother, Ben, and we were both atheists attending a very Christian-dominant school. And the school had various Bible groups and Christianity-related groups. And me and Ben were thinking about the fact that we could start our own group that was religion-free, fun, and educational. So when we heard about the Secular Student Alliance, Ben was excited to jump right into it. So whenever he went to go and ask the principal actually said, and I quote, "Homosexuals aren't accepted here, and they actually go to Asheville." Asheville is like the more liberal part of North Carolina. And then, so I take it that she doesn't want to be invited to the gay pride parade. So we won't be sending her any invitations. I mean, that is what atheist means, right? We're all homosexual and we're all devil worshippers. Well, after that, we went and researched it. Like, we researched it. Y'all can tell I'm nervous. We went and researched it, and you actually can't turn down any groups. No matter what. No matter if they don't have groups, you can't turn down any groups. Let me find my spot. I'm sorry. He went back and told them, and they said no again. And after this, the principal went on to ask what it meant by asking if it was a Satanist group. So basically, she didn't take the time to fact check herself by looking it up, because then she would have known what it meant. I guess things that sound scary are always scary. I have to admit it was brave, stupid, but apparently the law isn't a thing. After that, Ben had to move on to college, and I was left to do the dirty work, so to speak. And, sorry, my nerves are getting me. I spoke to the SSA and the FFRF presidents, and one of which told me to go find sponsors. No matter what they said go find sponsors. So I went and I went to 4 teachers before I found a teacher that was actually promising. And So when he told me that he would have to go and talk to the principal about it. And whenever he went to go talk to the principal, apparently the principal told him something, because whenever I got back the next day, he all of a sudden wasn't interested. And actually, whenever I asked him why not, he said he just murmured something and chuckled and walked away, because he was a weird old man. Okay, so I went to the principal, and I told him that I was trying to find sponsors and I couldn't get one, and he told me he'd find me one. And he actually found me 2. And whenever I got back with them, one of them, I went into the office, and one of them was back in the back room. And one of the women were like, "Oh, you're Kalei, you're with the group." So she goes, "Hey, this is Kalei with the group." And the other woman goes, "Oh, I'm not doing that group," as if she hadn't heard about it. But I got her name for my sponsor, so I don't know, I guess the principal didn't like that. Well, at this point, I got the idea that I don't think people like baby-eating devil worshippers, which is indeed surprising. I then went to the principal and told him that I was trying to find sponsors, and I already told you that part, so I won't tell it again. So within the next few days, I was trying to figure out what to do to start my group. And me and her talked about it, and she made up a bunch of unnecessary things that I would have to go through, like starting the group, made up her own rules of how to start it. And I even went through them, and I was excited, and the first thing that came to my mind, advertisement. So I made a bunch of flyers for a pizza party that I was going to have. I went after track one day, and I put them up all around the school, in the girls' bathrooms, everywhere. And then this was after school. The very next morning I got into school, every single one of them was gone. And I mean, I don't expect people to appreciate the work, the money, the time that went into that. And so whenever that happened, I reported that as well. But I didn't care. I was ready to get it started, and I had many people messaging me about joining. I had 15 plus people to start out with, and that's only the people who had messaged me to tell me that they were coming out and that they were going to come and join the group. I had made so many friends. After all, I am a sinner and a heathen, and nothing but a soulless tragedy. While I was waiting for the day of the party, I was informed that a 65-page letter from the school attorney to the FFRF, the SSA, and my dad. The school attorney had sent it to everybody, even the media. It basically said that we never asked about starting the group and that we lied about the whole thing, and actually came after my parents in an attempt to harm our family and Dad's business. I had to be done with the group, of course. I wasn't going to risk the livelihood of my family. It tore me up. I was abandoned by many friends and hated by so many people. And what all for? No reason, no gain. This ran across my mind all the time. And then I realized that so many people didn't even know me and still made it clear to me that they cared that I wasn't alone. I had people telling me their stories, and I feel comfortable meeting these people, like you guys. And knowing I have them, I had support from Christian friends, some that even went to the school that I was at. It feels so good to know that I've done something that helped people come out, and helped people through my own experiences, who have now blossomed into bright atheists. They saw something that could be done, even though I thought it was really small. And you know how you feel like you don't feel like a hurricane is going to hit you, and that you're invincible basically just because it's you. You don't think anything's going to happen to you. And so it happened to me, and I've had people call me and send me horrible messages that would make someone want to kill themselves. But getting past that is the easy part, once you can look around and see how many people are there for you, no matter how much of a stranger they are. You feel your worth, and you know you're going to make it. My goal in going forward are to encourage others to learn to defend and better spread the knowledge of skepticism, free thought, and logic.
I'm actually the regional campus organizer for the Southeast. First thing, you're absolutely beautiful and an incredible speaker, and I think
incredible speaker.
No,
you did really well.
You handle yourself incredibly well, and you are incredibly charismatic, and you have nothing to be nervous about. This is nothing but love and inclusion.
Thank you.
I was just wondering how, and this might be personal, but has this made you internally stronger about your role in non-belief, or has this, I mean, and you can get as in detail as you want to or not, and also if you have plans of going to college, would you like to join an organization like SSA on your college campus?
I actually want to be a surgeon.
Interesting, okay, cool.
And so I want to go into a surgical career, knowing that if I save somebody's life, then they don't have to be worried about an afterlife. And knowing that if I had saved them, that basically it means more to me if I save them, because I know that they didn't go to an afterlife. But yeah, it has made me stronger, headstrong, because obviously what people have said to me, I didn't get death threats personally sent to me. They're just comments that are upon comments, and it did make me headstrong, because I've always been kind of strong through bullying, because I don't really care, but because I have my friends, like you guys. So, next question.
Hi. You talked about the letter where the principal sort of
the attorney?
Yeah, the attorney. He sent a letter that threatened your family's business. Was there I feel like that should have been something that isn't legal. I don't know the nature. I don't know the nature of what he said, but it's if you're threatening someone, if he's threatening you with legal action, then
yeah.
What kind of threats was he making that
it's still a pending case. We still don't know if we're getting all of our lawyers involved with it, because I can't speak about exactly what he said. But it was sent to the media, and they just picked out that I had lied, and that I'm horrible. That's so terrible. Yes.
Even though this is all happening to you, I was wondering, are you thinking about fighting back anyway? I know maybe getting someone else to start fighting the same fight. I know you are kind of in a bind here, and maybe if you find someone else who is as passionate as you are, maybe in your school or in a nearby school, and maybe get them involved and try to make a change again.
Yeah, me and this kid, he was in the FFA, I think. He messaged me and told me that he would love to join the group, and he'd love to be the vice president of the group, because I was going to try and be the president. So he told me that he would take over, because I said that I might be moving, and he said that he'd love to take over and be the president. So I think that he'll start that, and I'll message him and make sure that I'll see to it that he tries to, at least.
So, where did you go to school?
Pisgah High School.
What state?
Oh, yeah, I know, it just even sounds.
No, what state?
Oh, I thought you said what a mistake.
Oh. North Carolina, okay.
Yeah, Bible Belt, right in the belly. Just right there. Yeah. Everybody talks whenever they say why, they're like, wah. Yeah. I recently heard that the principal was like hurt that I tried to start the group. Yeah.
Oh, poor principal.
I don't want him. Okay.
Persecution complex.
Sure, I have a quick question. So, I came to begin to like, how do you say, understand what you went through because I have no idea. I'm not going to act like I do. But I do know a couple of people, groups from our state, from Wisconsin, that are kind of going through the same thing with their extremely religious friends and community, stuff like that. I guess, coming from someone who's been through it themselves, what would you say you would want, I guess, someone else, or how would you want someone else to reach out to you and help you out, give a supporting hand?
Oh, like to me?
Well, just in your own personal opinion, like, what would you think would be most useful?
You guys already did it. You guys, like, invited me to all these conventions and like, invited me to meet people who, like, they didn't even know me, and they walked up to me like, oh, hey, Kalei, what's up? Like, didn't even know me, and they cared. And it's awesome.
First off, thank you.
Oh, no problem. A lot of people have done it, like, some people don't get recognized for it, and I think they should.
We're all from Alabama.
Oh. That whole state is a Bible Belt.
Yeah, it's the but in high school, I was extremely culturally sheltered. I didn't even know what an atheist was until I was almost a junior. I mean, older than you are. And we didn't have any groups like that. Also, before I forget, you said you're about to move?
I might.
Is that because of this?
Somewhat, but my stepmom also doesn't like the mountains, so.
What is the biggest thing that you took from this? What is, did you gain any kind of,
I gained respect from a lot of Christians. I had Christians come up to me and be like, you're brave. Like for real, they would come up to me and be like, I can't be your friend, but you're brave. Yeah, just the respect. Oh my gosh, I have friends now. So you actually talk to me in the hallway?
Yeah.
I'll hold you to that.
I'm sorry, I have another question. Kind of like, I think what maybe he was getting at is, I didn't know if you guys maybe set up like a website where we could put our voice like for you, help you out at the school. I know, like, I don't know if you're still fighting, but how could we help you?
I actually have a Facebook page, the Secular Student Alliance, at Piston.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's still up, and like, because we haven't taken it down, we still don't know if they're going to start it there. Plus, we just kind of want to rub it in.
sorry, I'm kind of taking everyone else's.
That's fine.
question.
I'm going to come to her now.
Oh, no, she
Got it for you? Okay.
I'm a media skeptic, and you've had a lot of national coverage over the last couple of months.
Yeah, that's hard to believe.
Yeah. I know that since there's still some pending things happening, how do we get the best information that is up to date from what's going on?
I don't know that we'll be posting anything yet because of the, pending legal stuff. So I think that you can find that on my podcast. Me and my sister started a podcast after that happened. So, and it's actually called Lucifer's Young Ladies. And it's the first girl teen atheist podcast. So tell you like through every story that I say, or like stories that I'm telling about, like, you know, crazy preachers or something. Like, I'll talk about like how my project got destroyed. I made a whole project. It was the end of the year project in science, and I was even holding in my bodily fluids to get it done. And then afterwards, whenever I came back from the bathroom, I came back and my project was destroyed, and there was a Bible on top of it. And whenever I went to the principal, she tried to make it sound like, well, they said they were just tossing around the Bible and it just landed on your desk. Like,
Isn't that worse?
yeah, like ironic. So they said that they would find the source of it, like who did it, and they didn't. So.
New sport, Bible talk.
Well, did they?
Bible tossing.
Did they at least give you more time to fix it?
No.
They
He
failed you?
graded it. He just gave me a good grade. He was the one who was supposed to be my sponsor, like the old man. Yeah.
That's-
Okay, she has a question.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering if all of the media coverage affected like your sports, because coaches at my school, they sometimes won't be tolerant about other people. I've experienced that with other people have experienced in football.
I had a girl. I was wearing my spandex, and I had a girl. She was like, "Put your ass away," or something like that. And then my coach was like, "No," and was like, "Do that again, and you'll go up to the office," and something like that. But then I've also had coaches like come up to me and ask me, "Are you telling me?" Like, ask me if it means like if I believe in the devil, and he's like, "And what do you believe is after this life?"
But you haven't
like-
done any negative stuff or anything like that?
Not from coaches, but I answer that question every time somebody asks me, like, what comes after this life? I say, well, do you remember back in the 1600s? And they're like, no, I wasn't alive. Same thing. You had no idea. You're gone. You're gone. You're gone. You're gone. You're here. You're gone.
If they continue to block the SSA at your school, would you consider a campaign to shut down all the other student groups?
I don't think that they would, because it's illegal. Like, it's illegal even if they don't have any groups.
No.
Then they have to let the student have their own group, even if it was a satanic, lesbian, you know. Yeah, but they do have a group, and it's an equality group. And some like this homosexual kid made it, and I love him. Like, I love this kid. And he made a group, and it was an equality group, and whenever I asked to start the secular group, they were like, isn't that just the same as the group that they have? But, you know, we're all homosexual. Thank you.